What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the OC Hoop Show. I'm Dan Albano with the OC Register, OC Varsity, joined here by the Hall of Famer, Steve Fryer. And Steve, we are going into the final week of the regular season, and that is exciting time. These are the final movement before the playoffs start. And I'm wondering, which league races are you most watching this week, as it's a big week in boys basketball?
Yeah, the top two teams in the 4-team leagues, like the Wave and the Crestview and the North Hills, they get guaranteed playoff berth. The top three teams, the 6 and 7-team leagues, Trinity, etc., Freeway, Empire, the top three teams get guaranteed things. So sometimes those third place games are really interesting.
Yeah.
There may be like a Loera Bolsa Grande game in the Garden Grove League on Thursday that may decide who's going to go to the playoffs and who don't. And if you don't have a 500 or better record and you don't finish in that guaranteed area there, the top three teams of the 6-team or 7-team league, you got to be 500 or better to get in at large, where it's sort of like what they in baseball and the NFL call the wild card. And they call it the large in CIF lexicon. So some of those games like that could be really wild. But then, you got Los Al versus Edison playing for the league title on Tuesday. The Trinity is crazy with, Jay Serra got beat Jay Serra beat St. John Bosco. Who's going to be the third and fourth place team there? Is Mater Dei the fourth place team going to be at large of all gosh darn things? Who would have thought of that, a couple of years ago? But that's it. Sonora's closing into the Freeway League. The Seaview League is really tight. You got Dana Hills going into today at 4-2. You got Mission Viejo and El Toro at 3-3. Then over in the South Coast, you got Tesoro 5-1, Capistrano Valley's 4-2. They split their two games. They're both like 2-point games each. So those are some of the wild league races that I'm watching. The Wave League, Corona del Mar has come out of nowhere kind of, and now they're 3-1 in league, and they're one game behind Newport Harbor, which is 4-0. So yeah, there's some great league races out there. The Freeway League's great too. Sonora is going to win the league title, but La Habra, Troy, Sunny Hills, jeepers, it's wild.
You got your eye on pretty much all OC right there. Not surprising, Mr. Fryer. Hey, before we leave boys basketball, we have a fifth different team now to be ranked number one in Orange County. A lot of parity in Orange County boys basketball this year. What can you tell us about the Pacifica Christian Tritons? Number one, probably, I'm certainly for the first time in their brief history.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, it is the first time that they've been in the number one. And I really couldn't figure it out because, Pacific Christian beat Fairmont Prep the other day. Salim Salman and Parker Strauss were excellent for that team. Pacific Christian's a really good team. Are they like by far away number one? Are they going to be number one next week? I don't know. But they beat Fairmont Prep by 15 and looked really good in the process. And then, Mater Dei has all of a sudden has played pretty well again. They collapsed really against St. John Bosco. And then they turn around and they beat Olu by a bunch. They haven't lost to Orange Lutheran just a week or two previous. Then Jay Serra comes up. So anyway, I went Pacific Christian 1, Mater Dei 2, Orange Lutheran 3, Jay Serra 4, up from 6, Santa Margarita from 2 to 5. But Foothill, that maybe they could have been number one, but they lost to Canyon.
Yeah.
Friday, and then they lost to Coronado, Nevada at the Nike Extravaganza. Coronado, Nevada is really good, so wouldn't really penalize Foothill too much for that one. And then, so 1 through 13 or 14 are all really close together this year. It's really weird. I sort of missed the days when Mater Dei was going to go 10-0 and may pick a number one easy. Monarchs aren't doing that. I don't have a team like that to figure out here. So Pacific Christian number one. You're the fifth, like you said, Dan, the fifth different team. All the years I've been doing this since 1990. There's in 1990-91 school year. There's never been anybody other than Mater Dei at number one before this year. And now we've got 5 different teams that have held that slot, including Mater Dei.
That's pretty crazy. And it'll be interesting. I mean, what could happen to Pacifica Christian down the stretch where they would lose it? Because they just passed such a big test against Fairmont Prep. So,
I think they got to work for it. They should win the league title, perhaps, or share it with Fairmont Prep. And they go into, I think, 3 AA in the playoffs. They're a 2A.
Yeah.
team of the playoffs. That's a tough beat, man. I'll tell you. And that 2A thing, my top 10 was kind of easy. My top 25 was not easy. I think your top team was kind of easy to pick again. I mean, Modern Day Monarchs, the Lady Monarchs, Deal and all those great players over there are rolling. What's it, 16? Kevin Kiernan's 16th year at Modern Day, and he's going to have 16 titles in as many years in that league. Is that what we have?
Pretty much. I mean, they got a couple games this week, and they're only up. They're up by one game against Rosary, but it's looking like that. Which it's a good segue into the league races I'm watching. It's not my top league, but it's one of the leagues. Is the Trinity League, because on Wednesday Modern Day is going to play host to Rosary, and that could be for Modern Day, clinching the undefeated Trinity League title, which would be even a share. They're going to be 16 for 16 under Coach Kiernan, which is really obviously super impressive. So that's got to be a big game on Wednesday to watch. And there's another reason why, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But my number one league is to watch, and it's kind of like what you said about the third place team. I'm interested in the South Coast League this week because last week, unranked Elisa Nagel, they opened the week, I think, with about 16 losses. They were about 6-16 entering last week, but they beat two county ranked teams in San Clemente and Tesoro, and now they're tied for third in that league. And and they upset top 10 ranked San Clemente, and then on Saturday they beat Tesoro. So what that means now, like you said, with the sub 500, the only way Elisa Nagel was going to make the playoffs was going to be an automatic berth. Yeah. And now they close against Trabuco, who they've defeated, and who's not ranked, and Tesoro, which has got a above 500 record and can get an at-large berth, but they close against San Clemente, who now is hopefully getting healthy. They were shorthanded without Zona Miller last week against Elisa Nagel, key injury last week, but supposedly Zona is back. So Elisa Nagel could be in the playoffs with an automatic berth at 9-17, and there's a lot more that fans can. I'll be writing about Elisa Nagel because there's a lot of things that they've been through that I'll be writing about this week. And my other league, Fryer, is keeping track of the Crestview League because you got a big game on Tuesday night, and you have the Brea Linda Lady Cats at Esperanza. Esperanza trying to go undefeated in their finale in the Crestview League. So it should be interesting because Brea is still in contention. They only have one loss, which is the Esperanza. But Lady Cats have a tough week because they're on the road at Esperanza, and they also have El Dorado again, who played them really close, 2-point game last week. So, and there's a lot more going on as we move to Selection Sunday. Coming up, with the pairings coming out late Sunday morning. So, Mr. Fryer, how many will Orange County boys basketball have an open division team announced on Sunday morning when we get those pairings, 11 or noon? What do you say?
Well, I don't think so. I'm not on the committee because they want to get it right. So I'm not on the committee. But on the watch list that came out today, 2 county schools are on it, both in Trinity League J. Sarah, which is the 5th place team in a 6-team league, and they're on the watch list. Tells you about the Trinity League and how good J. Sarah has been of late. Modern Day still on that list. But at the Nike Extravaganza, I got to see some teams that were like guaranteed open division teams. Harvard, Westlake, Centennial Corona, West Ranch. Now, St. John Bosco is, a lot. If they win the Trinity League, which I think they're going to, they should do that. They should be in there too. So that's 4. It's an 8-team division. Notre Dame and Sherman Oaks, I saw them. They look great. Sierra Canyon will probably be in there. St. Bernard will probably be in there. I think I'm up to 6. Etowanda, I think that's 7. Maybe they will put Modern Day in there. Margarita's not on the watch list. They dropped out. They probably, maybe they're not that level. When I've watched Harvard Westlake play and I watched Centennial play and West Ranch play at the next Extravaganza Wednesday or Saturday, they were way better than the Modern Day Margarita, Orange Lutheran, J. Sarah. Way better. I don't see, maybe on the 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 times Mater Dei would beat one of those teams. But on the surface of it, no, those teams are different animals, man. I'll tell you, they are fast, they jump, they shoot, they're always in motion, they play rugged defense. You're not going to get an offensive rebound against those cats. I don't see an Orange County team being in there. But if one of them does, they're going to be like the 8th seed. They're going to be in the pool where they're probably going to go 1-3.
Yeah, I don't think Orange County is going to have a team in the open for boys. The most recent Southern Section rankings came out. Mater Dei is 9. So and they're looking at 3rd or 4th place perhaps in the Trina League. So I don't think there's going to be one. Maybe Mater Dei is the top seed in Division 1, and they go for another Southern Section title under Coach McKnight. But how about on the girls' side? I think based on the rankings this week, and you have Mater Dei girls and Sage Hill girls 3 and 4. I think they are going to be headed to the open, and those will be the two. You do have to probably bring up the conversation about Rosary because I think they're about 9 right now as well. Mm-hmm. And if they play well, according to Coach Rich Yoon of Rosary, he said, hey, if we play well and close against Mater Dei, maybe we'll get moved up. I don't know if that's going to happen. Mater Dei beat Rosary by 21 points the first time around. Yeah. And I think Mater Dei just recently saw a pretty interesting score related to their open division with Etiwanda losing to La Jolla Country Day last week. That might be some extra fuel. So as it stands right now, you could have number 1 in the open being Sierra Canyon, and number 2 could be Etiwanda, and then number 3 would be Mater Dei, which would put them on the side of Etiwanda. And then the number 4 would be Sage Hill. That would be on the side of Sierra Canyon. So, hey, what a credit to Sage Hill. Won a state title last year in Division 2. And now they make the jump up, not to Division 1. They're going to make the jump all the way to the open. And this is a junior-dominated team for Coach Kerwin Walters. So great credit for Sage if they're in that open division. You got to tip your hat. They played a brutally tough schedule, and they're there. They did play Mater Dei to 12 points at the Denning Classic. And then, hey, of course, you have to say congrats to Mater Dei. And I think a lot of people are dismissing their chances against Etiwanda. And I think Mater Dei is young and athletic and plays so fast. They could give Etiwanda a lot of trouble. Don't write off the Monarchs, who also are a pretty young team too. So that's what I think. I think there's 2 open teams from Orange County girls, and I don't think there's any for boys.
I think that when we talk about some of these teams, there are some big game coaches on some of these teams we're talking about. I'm not going to, single out people because some say, hey, I'm a big game coach too. I mean, they're all great coaches, are all up and down. I saw Sage Hill play last week, Dan. They're pretty good. They are fast. They move the ball around really well. They got some kids who can shoot the 3. That's a good looking ball club, man. I'll tell you, they're not going to be an easy victory for anybody in that if they get in the open.
Now they're fundamentally sound.
Yeah,
and they have some players that are, I really like the versatility, and this has been the theme. They have players like Emily Eady and Kate Riddenheimer that are, forwards that are about 6 foot, 6'1", yes. And they handle the ball and pass very well. Yep. So, and they have Annabella Spots back. That's a big core. They play pretty good defense. They have a good freshman and Holguin. So, and they're very experienced, and they're a big team. But that open's going to be very tough. With Sierra Canyon, they could be on the same time with same side of the bracket or the same pool with Santiago Corona. So it's going to be very tough. But there you go. It's going to be pretty interesting, and we're getting very close to playoff time, sir.
Oh, yeah. We just got a couple of games this week. There may be like a wild game on a 3rd place deciding game on Friday. They leave that day open. That's why if you're looking at the schedule, you're seeing a lot of games on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nobody's really scheduled for Friday.
Yeah.
They leave that open as a possible tie break game. And then it's on to Sunday, 11 o'clock. We found who the large teams are. Noon, all the brackets come out. And there we go. It's going to be a fun Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. Dan's going to be covering girls basketball. I'm going to have everything that I can figure out in boys basketball. And we'll have all that stuff at OC Varsity. As soon as we can get it, you'll have it. Thanks for joining us here as we talk about basketball again. And we'll see you courtside, everybody.